admit, even for all the jokes I make about it, I won't joke about that only because that's kind of a turnoff for me, admittedly.
What is?
There are like 5 things that I'm definitely aware of totally turn me off. Rape,
Scat,
fantasy,
water sports, and rape.
Yeah, rape is
fuck, I have
I have a fetish that turns Peter off. Holy shit.
White and nerdy, think I'm just too white and nerdy. Think I'm just too white and nerdy. Can't you see I'm white and nerdy? Look at me, I'm white and nerdy. I wanna roll with the gangsters.
There is this dumb moment of note recently where my loyalty to Peter, aka Aeon of Dreams, was called into question. Now, why I hardly need to reassure Peter constantly, as he's not a wilting flower. Hey, verbally blowing Peter or Aeon of Dreams is always a delight. So, fuck it. Aeon is responsible for being the guest with the highest viewed King of Limbo at 18,000 views. He's talked to me since my PFC days, when he was around 500 to 700 subscribers. When many established people in the Analysis Rift didn't bother to talk to little people, Peter was one of the cool ones. I've talked several times when Peter and I have schemed for the downfall of Toon Critic, and while I admit and give at least that Peter did push more than I did at times, at least more than on one occasion. And mentioning Peter is in Devore literally goes back to, well, just at a lazy glance 2014. Everyone knew it then and no one cared. How does he get away with it? Fuck if I know. But there is one thing of note from this video that was recorded back in 2014.
Here's the thing with Peter's fetishes. Pretty much all of them fall in the area of I can work with this. Fine. Actually, that's a pretty big field that a lot of shit falls into. But with mine, some of mine, is Peter's just like, nope, nope, nope. Levita's here.
No, on the fucking PFC channel, Neuromancer debates with Leaky on what dragon penis went through the car.
No one listens to our friends'
You are a very
podcasts.
fortunate person, Vita, that you keep falling into these decent groups.
I'm here for as long as you pay me.
Yeah, I know.
Now, recently, ZD from KP staff made a big much ado about me using the term molest to an adult in private. And I responded, the guy you're hanging out with is into rape. And he quickly decided to pass by on that. I'm going to leave a link to the recording to this original call. Now, I know what you're thinking. Maybe Vita was drunk and I can give you the ultra lazy, well, you are more honest when you're drunk line. But it's more to it than that. In the recording where Vita asserts that he's into rape, at no time does he even say roleplay. He has enough competency in his mind not to agree with what Peter's into, and boastfully and gleefully asserts he's into rape. I'm not asserting anything, I'm simply showing transparency, because for a time, I and some of my peers winked at some of Vita's tendencies that included bragging about being into hebophilia. You might ask what hebophilia is. It's pedophilia for hipsters. It's people attracted to teens after puberty. Now, Vita might claim in his defense that he has seen medical help, and it is true that Vita has claimed that he has been talking to a shrink for a significant amount of time. Let's look at some of the mental, straightforward decisions that Vita has failed to make. Vita considered dying instead of getting dentistry done. Not to mention, I showed this before. Something along the lines of having the mature presence of mind of being able to abuse prescription drugs other than their intended use, and that somehow that was going to turn out to be okay. This one's more recent, as in this one happened about 2 to 3 weeks ago. About having a friend die. It's like watching the Titanic heading towards an iceberg, and there's every means in the world to stop it, but the captain on the ship has zero will to do so. I'm sure this doesn't belong here, or hell anywhere else. There is likely nothing that can be done, and maybe someone who's better with words than me can go talk to Vita, including a link to his channel, but I kinda doubt it. I'm mostly just pissed off. Well, maybe it'll be fun next time, but I kinda fucking doubt it. Here's a video of Vita and us hanging out. It's not gonna mean a lot to everyone else, but I think it might be the thing I come back to when he's gone to remember him by. Now, I'm not a medical or legal professional. This is also the raid, his words, where Vita orchestrated where Pastal Opal dumped a bunch of underage material under Vita's command, Dear Opal. you asserted due to your state's laws that you did nothing illegal. Did you distribute any pornographic material to anyone under the age of 18? The answer is likely yes, based on the fact that the room had various people of various ages, including your ex, who was, I believe, 15, 16. Now, legally, you can't send people under the age of 17 porn in the United States, to the best of my knowledge. Now, had this been a mistake, I'd understand, hell, even if it was an isolated incident, but from what I've heard, you did this recently in Chamber of My Heart's server. Now, I misunderstood initially when I heard that Chambers was doing a PSA on you, and I assumed it was because you drew a picture of a penis on some character's head, and stupid kids will do stupid kid things. I wasn't fully aware to the extent of what you pulled in that chat. I'm going to read off a message I have permission to read off from Leo Convoy. This is a man who is in both Limbo and Vita's chat. Now, Vita will try and say he doesn't condone this act, and my question is, the next time he does a raid on a room, as his tweet suggests, this was his raid, will Opal come along for that ride? So, if you're asking yourself, if I see Vita in my chat, will material that might not be potentially legal end up floating around in there? And the answer is yes, it might. This is far from new behavior. When Vita got salty at the Analysis Rift under a male alicorn, that's the very first one, he had a friend delete all the files and replace them with gore and porn. Cam Goes Pony, as well as the Looney Turtle, can authenticate that this happened. There's also this statement where Vita has said that he hasn't pulled a raid in 3 to 4 years, where he raided KP's server, Keyframe server, Creepy Ratings server. It's also asserted, according to Josh, that he raided Josh's server. I've had certain members in former and present tell me that they felt bullied into including Vita in their discords, or they might be accused of being a pedophile. Now, I want to state for the record, the blacklisted names in the community that I feel quite comfortable of stating that are universally understood are Toon Critic, Performance Major, Dusky Novel, Dark Age, Frozen Dusk, but really the main 3 being Performance Major, Dusky Novel, and Toon Critic. There's less urgency with Frozen Dusk, and everyone who does know Dark Age typically knows to keep away from him. Well, with the exception of Pastal Opal, who still had Dr. Fowl on her friends list, and we know that from the raid. I want to give special thanks to Chambers of My Heart, who reached out and managed to get a hold of Pastal Opal's parents, and Pastal Opal has been grounded and removed from having a Skype account. Unfortunately, she still has her Discord, and her Discord is still in Vita's chat. So I'm just giving a warning, if you see Vita raiding your chat, there is the potential that certain material may wind up in there, as soon as Opal gets her internet access back. The allegations and screenshots that Fal has yet to address in any way, shape, or form are concerning that he's still in touch with a 16-year-old. I should have mentioned that earlier. Just for transparency, I'm not going to bother wasting my time talking to Opal. Her idea of being limited in her rights was telling her to stop hitting on me or other older men. She ignored both of these requests and flooded a chat full of people that considered her from a friend to at least what they thought was cool. From my personal experience with ZD, a member of KP staff, at the end of our stream, he thought he threw in Sheldon and Vita. So keep in mind, if you hang out with ZD and other members of KP staff, there is the potential to have your room flooded with perhaps not the most legal of porn. And keep in mind, ZD's biggest excuse to adding Vita was, well, he nagged the hell out of me to do it. Well, that'll be cold comfort when you wind up with material that might get you arrested. A list of some of the discords that Vita has been tossed from include Fufflepuffs, Bee-Fishes, KPs, Jaw Scorchers, Lily Pete's Discord. Well, okay, to be fair, that was a Limbo original. That's why there was 0 porn spammed in that one. He's also been removed from the Procrastinators Podcasts Discord. In fact, I have a recording of Ben Saint and Munchie addressing Munchie's interactions with Vita here.
Can I get that for a soundbite really quick? I want to get that recorded.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just repeat that one more time, please.
Vita, you're using Munchie's artwork as your avatar right now.
Yes.
Right now.
Talking about standards.
As we speak.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and then he responds with some nonsense, like waffling about, like, oh no, well this is fine, but
Yeah.
but everything else is bad.
His response was, "This is iconic. This is iconic."
Yeah. Munchie sucks, but this particular piece of his work is just too iconic to let.
It's just too great to let slip through my fucking stubby fingers.
Yeah.
Oh, unfortunately, I can't even find that comment because Missy probably took down his original video, which is a fucking.
I hate when he does that.
I remember it.
Yeah.
Oh god, that drives me insane.
I'm sure you can like internet archive it. I think I might have it saved as well, but you know, trust me, it was incredible.
Oh no, fucking every time Miss Anthropony takes down one of his drama videos, like just scores and scores of untouched gold is lost to the ether.
Yeah, it's really upsetting.
What a shame.
What a shame. So yeah. Like there was a lot of stuff we talked about. Really, like for me, I was concerned because like we didn't say like anything about you. I think we like mentioned your name. I think the worst we said about you is that you were friends with Vita, which is the worst thing you could accuse someone with.
Vita has told me himself that he was too drunk to remember whether this happened or not. I share this because, as I said, I've had some members of the VA community express straight down and out a fear for Vita as well as myself. And if one of us gets angry enough, this is the misconception, that some way, somehow, that we will attempt to frame one of you as a pedophile. The only time I've ever had to retract a claim on this matter was Spoctor Theory, and there was a confession. The main reason why I feel that Dark Edge is guilty as hell, at least at this point, forget making a public statement, he's made 0 statements to anyone asking him, other than Opal or any other girl, who are alleging that he just, other than Opal, and his statements have been he's just going to lay low until this blows over. Now, Fal, I've made a backup of all my chat logs with Opal to cover my ass. Going to include those in a Google Doc down below in this video. If you're innocent, one last time, if you provide chat logs, i.e. you open up your Skype and you screen share them, and you screen share that you didn't say any of that shit to Opal, or that other girl, or Mintheart, and sadly it is going to have to be all 3, this can all go away. I will make a public apology. You will be brought back into the fold immediately, and I will even give you $100 for your pain and suffering. I make this offer to put the fears of my friends at ease for whatever reason who just thought, hey, we're picking on people at random, that somehow old friends are fair game. For the longest time, everyone knew what Vita's tastes were. We knew about them for 4 years, and I'm not here to police wrongthink. If anything, I'm finally glad he shut the fuck up about it. Now, if you're asking me, do I think that Vita is a pedophile? There's nothing I can legally prove. I think Vita is as much not a pedophile as the Burning Donut is. I think Vita's current hentai history would likely speak volumes wide about hypocrisy in some of his allegations. And no, I don't have an F-list. I once had an account on a troll site called Magog, and the troll site was called Camel Dog. If you need proof on how suspicious this accusation is, this F-list was created and never updated even once. Any other questions? Just in case I missed this somehow, there are tons of people I've had heat with that I've never accused of being a pedophile. Fallen Wish, oddly enough, Toon Critic helped with disproving a false claim against her by some guy named a Snake Man. Not the one with Vita. It's a weird story. It's not terribly interesting either, sadly. 2. The Second Opinion. I've never asked for or had any questions on Second Opinion's love life. 3. The Looney Turtle. Other than letting British bronies stay in the analysis rift, as well as fight to keep Keyblade in, that doesn't make Eric a pedo. It makes him grossly negligent, at least morally, if not legally. 4. Nightmare Rider. I've never made any accusations of Nightmare Rider sexually, or to the best of my knowledge, anything legally either. 5. Dulcet Tones. We've had heat before, and I've made sure to keep whatever that heat was from unduly influencing putting Dulcet on blast more than he needs to be. Did I ever publicly massively chide Dulcet? I honestly can't remember. 6. Wupcake. A long time ago, I had a misguided, retarded resentment towards Wub for whatever stupid, insane reason. Wub, being the professional she is, she explained the situation like a boss. Until this day, I have nothing but respect for Wupcake these days. 7. Chugglebug. I hate Chugglebug with the heat of 1,000 dying suns because he cost me a podcast with Hungry Soma, supposedly. And I've never tried to frame the guy for anything. I used to be able to have fun on Twitter till this guy came along, and he started to mini-mod me in my posts. 8 Game Link reviews. Though I don't think I have any heat with him now, oddly enough, because this is one of 2 or 3 people that my ex helped me find peace with. And yeah, I think the most amount of differences we ever had was over a script. God, I miss petty bullshit like this. It's kind of funny how much ill will and heat we had over something that didn't really amount to much ado about anything. But yeah, I could do drama like these 2 or 3 of them a day if I had to, no problem. My point is, you don't have to kiss my ass. You don't even have to keep me happy. If we get into a disagreement, I might do a stupid video. And sometimes some of these videos are just that, stupid videos. Me, I've crossed wits with Midnight Chimes. Good fun banter between me and someone I respect. Conversely, when I'm talking about Kichi's undying love about her pet cat Eric, that's very serious business. But hey, if you're still really paranoid about me ruining you, 99.99 repeating, I'm less likely to cover you if you get fan art of Kichi and her pet cat Eric. Good night and good luck.
Oh, and don't forget to march for this degenerate. Amber, if you're listening, please throw away the fucking key.
Now flag me, you golem of soy.